She who stands on ancient iron ancestral shoulders boulder. They call her tall like Mount Kilimanjaro, fearless fighter, fierce among pharaohs. Eyes on more than the sparrow, cause black minds are still folded and narrow. Ancestors wake her up at night, can't sleep. Mission so urgent, original mother love so deep. She hears the screeching screams, see the horrific scenes of the remnants of Trayvon Martin, Rakia Boyd, Eric Garner, Oscar Brown, Tanisha Anderson, Aida Jones, and Emmett Till. Over 40 years of bullying royalty message, deliverer still. She is iron and courage, the heart healer, mind restorer, the self-respect message revealer. We've been walking sleep, sometimes pronounced dead on arrival. She taught until you truly understand it's about white genetic survival. She chose to be with those that exposed the truth and healing life revival. Penetrating and activating the strained brains, recalling our ancient molecular melanated memory. Genetic dominated, powerful creative energy is a system that buried eternity under white supremacy and racism. 500 years of torture and terrorism. My mission, divine permission granted, with templates and tools to navigate on this planet, planting seeds and gardens where wisdom had wilted and wondered. I'll never look at food tables and cigarettes and cigars, pistols and ball games the same. She a game changer, mind shifter, spirit lifter, demonic twister, decode the names. Parent of the Mother Earth in this vanguard on the front line, reclaiming, renewing, restoring, so aligned the code of symbols and signs. Mission is justice on earth. That spirit, mother love, nurturing, sweetness, that intuitive and patience love, loving the force in the universe that made us black, spreading that black love, that black crystal black love, that black dark matter, black tone that is carried to brown, yellow, red, and white, and red bones with that black love, black respect for each other, weakening this system. So history will be rewritten from here all the way to Britain. She's so resilient and clever, brilliance forever, retire never, even if she stands alone. A reminder there are breaks among us, giving us armor, adorned with liberation. Your black love for us is revolutionary. Got keys to the colors, birthing revolutionaries out of our wombs, awakening spirits, sacred rituals, birthing truth. Babylon's exploding, justice unfolding, freedom fire soaring high, talking strong intellect. And you know the angels and the ancestors lift us, shifting minds to understand a system. Scholar, sword, tongue, mind sharp, wisdom swifter. We honor you, we welcome you, give you flowers and praise while living. You so worthy and forever giving. We with you with that focused concentration, cosmic dark hole, black crystal penetration. We builders of pyramids, survivors of their experiments, sages with scrolls on pages, lectures on stages. We soldiers marching on with our ISIS papers.
I think that the thing that we must do as black people is to begin to have a very clear context in which we do our thinking. That events never occur in the abstract. They are always occurring in particular patterns, and they are occurring in relationship to other things. And when I talk to black people across this country, and I've recently come back from England and talked to black people there, and I say that there's a clue to what ails us to some extent, and it's how we greet each other. Many of us greet each other by saying, "What's happening? Hey, what's happening?"
Have you been following the controversy with Mr. Tiger Woods and what is alleged to have happened, what was reported to have happened, and all the trouble he's having with his white wife?
Well, I certainly have been following some of it. Did you have a specific question about that? Or?
Yes, ma'am. I have been very outspoken in my views on sexual intercourse between white people and non-white people under the system of white supremacy, and saying that I do not think it's correct. And looking at this situation, and in particular seeing the number of reports where people suspect that there could have been some conflict where perhaps his wife attacked him, assaulted him, and he was perhaps fleeing from her, and that's how he crashed his sports utility vehicle. Do you feel that a lot of this conflict and the way he's being, I think, vilified in the press, do you think this relates to white genetic annihilation and a non-white male being in a sexual relationship with a white woman?
Well, I certainly think that that is a part of it. It's almost like attacking O.J. Simpson over again. You see it vilified in the media over and over and over and over again. Is what I'm given to understand is that he was, I assume that in response to his wife finding out, maybe she didn't find out for the first time, but she certainly found out that he was having relationships with other white females, and that she ended up attacking him with a golf club, and he might have fled from the house, and she continued attacking the vehicle he was driving in. If he was indeed hit, as I'm given to understand that he was, that he was hit, and maybe he did have a concussion from being hit with a golf club. Anyway, that may have contributed to his running the car into a tree, into a fire hydrant, or he attempted to get out of the car and probably passed out. Not necessarily from the hit, but maybe from what had happened to him prior to his getting in the automobile. Anyway, it's a tragedy. I would say, infidelity is a tragedy from a marital point of view, but I'm struck by the fact that the media is acting as though he was the one who did something physical to his wife. And the way that they're talking about him, the media could be saying that a number of white females that then, whether it's 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 white females that he might have had relationships with, that this demonstrates a lot of trashy white females, but it doesn't focus on that. It focuses on Tiger Woods. And if we understand racism being a system about the fear of white genetic annihilation, then we can understand why there is a necessary attack, not only on Tiger Woods, but O.J. Simpson, and why even the attack that we see taking place on President Barack Obama. Now, the latter, President Obama, is not married to a white female, but the system of racism, in its drive, consciously and or subconsciously, to survive genetically, which is, of course, never talked about. But I maintain in my analysis and definition that that is the key to the system of racism, white supremacy, white genetic survival. And that would mean that black people in general, non-white people in general, black people more specifically, and black male persons even more specifically, would have to be the major designated enemy, because black people have the greatest genetic potential to cause white genetic annihilation. And it is males who can impose sexual intercourse as opposed to females. And so we see a horrific attack taking place on black male persons, or if a black male has developed a position of prominence, such as Tiger Woods, such as O.J. Simpson, such as President Barack Obama. The need to pull down, tear down, discredit, and otherwise attempt to destroy. I heard a discussion on a radio program earlier today when there was a discussion about some white minister who was telling his listeners to turn to a specific radio station. Maybe this is on the internet. And I think it's a particular chapter and verse in the book of Psalms where it talks about destroying the leader and turning the wife into a widow, and that the children will suffer, and directing this for people to think about the President of the United States, attack and destroy.
Wow.
And we already know that President Barack Obama has received more death threats than any other president in history. I've heard the figure 400 times the number of death threats. And so the important point is that we need to understand why we are witnessing this behavior. And if we understand racism, white supremacy as a total global system for white genetic survival that's operative in economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war, we can understand why we see these things. And I maintain the important thing is not for black people to go around hating white people. That's a waste of time and energy. But if you understand that this is the structure of a local, national, global system that is directed against people of color and directed against black people in general, then the challenge is, what do we do in response? What do we do beyond complaining about it? And we have a history since formal enslavement of complaining about the attack by people who classify themselves as white and talking about the pain that we are caused. It's only recently that, more recently, that we had a more in-depth understanding of exactly and specifically why this is happening. In other words, the people who classified themselves as white people on this planet, they're a tiny minority of people. Fewer than 1/10 of the people on the planet have white skin. And those people collectively identify themselves as white people. And they are in a conscious and or subconscious struggle for their genetic survival on the planet. And that necessitates continuous killing of numbers of non-white people. We see it happening in the Middle East. We see it happening on the continent of Africa. I maintain that HIV/AIDS is not some mysterious virus that fell out of the sky, that it is a virus designed to kill people of color. And it may be ethno-specifically designed, because the system of racism, white supremacy does create biological warfare weapons. And if they are in fear of their genetic survival, those weapons were not designed to destroy people who are classified as white, but people who are classified as non-white, again, within the context, within the power context and structure of their effort of white genetic survival for the global white minority population.